Emma had begun to measure her days in silences. The silence at breakfast with her mother, when words felt like fragile porcelain they were both afraid to break. The silence of the city at dawn, when she walked streets that remembered her better than she remembered them. And most of all, the silence that came after every conversation with Daniel, stretching long after they parted, heavy with everything they hadn't said. She hated how easily he slipped back into her life, how natural it felt to answer his messages, to meet him for coffee, to let his voice anchor her in ways she thought she had outgrown. And yet, each time she left him, she felt the ground beneath her weaken, as though she were walking on glass that could shatter at any moment. One afternoon, Daniel invited her to see the building he had been working on, the old structure near the square. Emma almost refused. But curiosity, and something deeper, tugged her along. The building stood tall, its facade weathered with age, windows boarded and walls scarred by time. Inside, dust clung to the air, carrying the smell of wood and stone. Daniel walked ahead, his steps confident, his voice alive as he described his plans, where the light would fall, how the walls would open, the way history would breathe through new life. Emma listened, watching his hands move as he spoke. He had always been like this, vision pouring from him, making ruins feel like beginnings. For a moment, she allowed herself to imagine it, the finished space, people laughing in rooms that once held silence, the walls telling stories of both past and future. "You really believe you can save it?" she said softly. Daniel looked at her, a faint smile on his lips. "Not save. Transform." The word lingered, echoing between them. Emma wondered if he meant more than the building. They sat on the steps outside as evening fell, the sky bruised with fading light. The city hummed around them, yet here, in this small pocket of quiet, Emma felt the pull of something old and dangerous. "Why did you really ask me here?" she asked. Daniel hesitated, then admitted, "Because I wanted you to see what I'm trying to do. Because I wanted you to know I haven't stopped building, not buildings, not hope." Emma's breath caught. Hope for what? He didn't answer. He didn't need to. The silence between them said enough. But balance is fragile, and hope is dangerous. A week later, Emma found herself sitting alone at the cafe, waiting. Daniel had asked to meet, but he was late. She told herself it didn't matter, that she didn't care. But as the minutes stretched into an hour, her chest tightened with old wounds. When he finally arrived, breathless and apologetic, Emma's walls snapped shut. "You always do this," she said sharply. He frowned. "Do what? Make me wait. Make me believe I matter, only to remind me I don't." "Emma, it was work. The sight. It's always something, isn't it? Always an excuse." Her voice trembled. "This is why I left. Because I was tired of being second to everything else in your life." The cafe went quiet around them, the hum of conversations fading under the weight of her words. Daniel's face hardened, pain flickering in his eyes. "That's not fair," he said. "You knew what my work meant to me. And you left before I could prove you weren't second." Her throat burned. "Then why didn't you stop me?" Daniel's voice dropped, rough with restraint. "Because I thought letting you go was the only way not to lose you completely." They stared at each other, the past crashing into the present, too raw, too sharp. Emma grabbed her coat and left, unable to breathe in the suffocating silence. For days, they didn't speak. Emma threw herself into writing, filling pages with words she would never publish, confessions disguised as fiction. She told herself she was done, that reopening old wounds only proved they would never heal. And yet, every night, her thoughts returned to him. To his voice, his hands, his presence that lingered even in absence. Her mother noticed the shift. "You're restless," she said one evening over dinner. "I'm fine," Emma muttered. "No, you're not. You're fighting with him again." Emma froze. "We're not." Her mother's eyes softened. "Emma, love isn't about never fighting. It's about what you do after. The word struck her, too close to truths she wasn't ready to face. It was raining the night Daniel appeared at her door. Emma opened it to find him soaked, hair plastered to his forehead, eyes fierce with something she couldn't name. "Emma," he said, breathless, I can't let it end like this. Not again." Her defenses rose instantly. "You don't get to decide that." "I know," he said. "But I need you to hear me. You're not second. You never were. I was just too blind, too stubborn to show you." Emma's chest ached. "And what if it's too late?" Daniel stepped closer, rain dripping onto the floor. His voice was steady now. "Then it's too late. But at least I'll know I didn't stay silent this time." The honesty in his eyes broke something in her. She wanted to slam the door, to protect herself. But instead she stepped aside. "Come in," she whispered. They didn't talk much that night. They sat on opposite sides of the room, the rain beating against the windows, words hovering but unspoken. And yet, the silence between them was different this time. Not empty. Not hostile. But fragile, like a thread that could either break or hold. Emma didn't know what tomorrow would bring. She didn't know if they were moving toward healing or another inevitable fracture. All she knew was that for the first time in years, she wasn't running. And Daniel wasn't letting go. Between them stretched a fragile balance, precarious, uncertain, but alive.